Let's start by giving credit to the quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, no one ever talks about him when we talk about San Francisco. That last drive and regulation was clutch.
No, Jimmy G was the reason the San Francisco 49ers won yesterday. Obviously, Deebo Samuel made some huge plays, but Jimmy G led this team to victory. He made every throw in the second half that this team needed for him to win. And when we often talk about the San Francisco 49ers, it's about the pass rush, right? It's about the versatility of a Deebo Samuel or George Kittle being one of the top tight ends in the league, but we never speak about Jimmy G. We never say that Jimmy G can be a reason that this team becomes a Super Bowl contender. But yesterday he was. Yesterday, when it got late in the game, I gave the Los Angeles Rams the win because I didn't think Jimmy G could pull through. I didn't think he'd make the throws to allow this team to win, and he did.
I think they won because of Deebo Samuel. I mean, Jimmy G was really good, right? You saw this team fall down 17-0, and Kyle Shanahan never wavered from their identity, continue to run the football, the play action pass, but Deebo took over. You motion. Now look at the communication from the defense, RC, right? And then as Kittle goes back across the formation, watch that slot defender. He steps down just for a second because he's got his eyes there. That allows Jennings to go down, crack block him. That's just enough for Deebo to get one-on-one on the perimeter versus that corner. His physical play and his burst is going to be too much. Then another, you run the football, motion him in the backfield, hand the ball off to him. Two things are important here. One, he's got to get that ball and tuck. And then two, Jennings has got to go down to sell that block. Jalen Ramsey eyes in the backfield a little bit. Easy touchdown. This is probably the play of the game, though. You got that palms coverage, cover 4, cover 2. He's reading that number 2 receiver. Out route. That makes him a squat corner. Now, Deebo's going to inside release and go to that corner up behind him. Great throw by Jimmy G, but he gets another 20 yards because of the yards after the catch right there. So Jimmy G was really good, but just the not only the versatility by Deebo, but just the explosiveness.
I think the one thing too, Green, you have to give the San Francisco 49ers, and we talk about this all the time. I always say the San Francisco 49ers are the team that's most aware of their identity.
This is who I am.
Yeah, they know exactly who they are. When they got behind in this game, they never departed from that. They didn't become a team that went run and shoot, right? It wasn't Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, and they were going to throw the ball all around the yard. They remained consistent to who they were, and that's why they got back in the game.
Well, that's a team that's down 17-0, and they never abandoned running the football. We talked earlier about the Colts, who only ran the ball 15 times with Jonathan Taylor yesterday in a game that was not nearly as out of reach as this one seemed like it would be. So, do the Niners now?
It's a bad matchup for the Dallas Cowboys.
What's that? Way to host.
The Niners are the team nobody wants to play, right? And it's the Cowboys who draw them first.
It's a bad matchup for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a bad matchup for anybody in the NFC. I think it's mostly a bad matchup for the Cowboys because the Cowboys' strength is their pass rush by the front. Well, that run game is going to minimize that a little bit. A brilliant coach in Kyle Shanahan is going to do everything he can to try to minimize the impact of number 11, Micah Parsons. How many different things can you get him to look at to play a little slower? The screen game. Maybe you try to get him running sideline to sideline and the counter action. I also think he's really good at finding weaknesses of a defense people-wise and attacking those guys. Anthony Brown has been attacked on that coverage, right, 30 for a long time. So I just think it's a really bad matchup for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I think it's a bad matchup for everybody in the NFC.
I think in today's football, anytime you find a team that is built on physicality, they're bad matchups, right? We've gotten into this point where we want to see run and gun. We want to see things spread out. And when you have a team that can directly attack you downhill, it's difficult. But like Dan mentioned, the things that Kyle Shanahan can make you see pre-snap. When we watched the film that Dan just put up, it was about pre-snap motion, right? It was about making sure you put people in bad position. Kyle Shanahan finds the matchups that are favorable to him, and he does them in a way where he accentuates the positive of his star players, and we saw that yesterday.
I think as I sit here today on Monday, like if Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw that "what were you thinking" interception where we just sometimes I think the 49ers win the football game. Now I don't really think that's going to change over the week, my thoughts on it, but I just believe because of the style of their offense, it's a tough out.
And I think too, it's also indicative of what we feel about the Dallas Cowboys now. I think if we talk about this the first 7 weeks of the season, we feel differently about this. And even when you get to Green Bay, we'll say all these good things about the San Francisco 49ers, but we can depend on Aaron Rodgers. We believe in Matt LaFleur. I don't think we believe those things about the Dallas Cowboys anymore, and we believe in the consistency of the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, you mentioned the Packers. I mean, that's a team. Those two teams, San Francisco and Green Bay, played in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. We all remember San Francisco ran it down their throat.
Yes.
The 49ers are a team no one, including the 1 seed, is going to want to play.
Remember, they played in September, and Aaron had that heroic throw over the top.
It was amazing. So Devontae Adams
All
late in
right,
the game.
so much to get to as we continue.